guys, welcome back. Today we are playing Ambition, a minuet in power. I have no idea what this game is about, never played it before. I just edited the sound, but honestly, it's too loud, so I'm just gonna fix that. Yeah, never played this before, and we're just gonna see what it's about. It seems like a historical game, so prologue, Yvette's story, 20th of March. The carriage rumbles and bounces along the cobbles as you approach Paris. It's taken over a week to get here, even carrying just yourself and your luggage. So there's more to the story. Your fiancé, Armand, arranged for the carriage to take you from your small village to a tavern he enjoys called the Orphan's Feast. There, he'll meet up with you, you'll likely take dinner together, and he'll show you your new home in Paris. For now, though, you've already finished all of your books, and Armand's letter is your only entertainment, other than staring out the window. Okay, so I'm going to roll as per my fashion. Okay, she's mean. Coachman, let's go. I don't have all day. With a grunt of irritation, the coachman flicks at his reins, and the carriage surges forward, sending you lurching back into your seat. The city blurs by as you wind your way towards the Orphan's Feast, a tavern where Armand said he would meet you. As tired and rumpled as you are, you're glad that he arranged to meet you in a place with ample food and wine. When you arrive, the coachman helps you out of the carriage, and you find yourself outside a glowing, friendly-looking tavern. The sign shows a grubby-looking child holding a plate piled high with fresh bread and roasted meats. Here goes nothing. Oh, she's delightful. So there's a barmaid. Inside, a woman polishing a lantern looks up at you as you enter, and her face breaks into a bright smile. Bonjour, madame, and welcome to the Orphan's Feast. Her eyes linger expectantly on the door for a moment before settling on you. You're suddenly reminded of how rare it is for women to travel by themselves. How may I be of service? She asks. Alright, I'm not going to try the French. I'm not going to do it. She's mean. I'm looking for my fiancé, Baron Armand de Marbeau. Oh, wait, no, I want a tutorial. I do. Don't worry, while the rest of the city can be rather cutthroat, the Orphan's Feast is a place for getting your feet under you. The woman puts down the lantern she was polishing. She favors you with a devious smile. Find guests worth talking to and try to say the right things to the right people. You'll never have time to talk to everyone, so use your time wisely. Okay. I'm sure that if you ask around, you'll be able to find your fiancé in no time. When she puts it that way, it suddenly sounds so easy. Okay, so I gotta try to find him. Well, you only have one outfit to your name at the moment. The Orphan's Feast doesn't feel like a particularly judgmental place in terms of fashion. Your credibility won't be shifted by what you're wearing here. As long as you explore the tavern and talk to people, you should be able to find Armand soon enough. Oh, okay. Credibility in peril. So let's talk to this man here. While you search for Armand, a handsome young man approaches you. Perhaps he'll be able to help. We could have some peril, we could have some credibility. We'll talk to him. You look around the unfamiliar tavern, trying to find Armand. Your eyes scan for his chestnut hair. Your ears strain to hear the sound of his infectious laugh. Someone clears their throat behind you. You turn around to find yourself face to face with an unfamiliar young man. He's well-dressed and handsome enough, but it's the middle of the day and he already smells like 2 bottles of wine. Pardon-moi, madame, but I can never ignore the sight of a woman in need, and you appear to be lost. Amorous patron, you. May I escort you? I'm so glad to hear that. Can you help me find my fiancé? Oh, that is not what I meant at all. And you know it, madame, he replies with surprising venom. You have lost a little credibility. With a wave that is barely as polite as decorum requires, he departs to seek the affection of a different young woman. Okay, click. Okay. Let's talk to them. Now that you're more acclimated to the guests and travelers of the Orphan's Feast, you should be able to find someone that can lead you to Armand. After hours of questioning and searching, it's late in the evening, and you've still yet to find Armand. You're not even sure why, but you feel exhausted. Who knew talking to people was such hard work? Now that you're warmed up, this may be your chance to finally find out where Armand is. You approach a woman who you had spotted glancing your way earlier. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking for my fiancé, Armand. Have you seen him? I don't think that's the right answer. At the mention of Armand's name, she laughs nervously. She makes small talk for a brief moment before excusing herself and disappearing into the crowd. The room appears to be emptying out. A gentleman you remember seeing earlier walks by. He might prove a little more useful. Excuse me, can you help a woman in need? Do you know a man named Armand? He looks at you, glances over to the woman you spoke with earlier, then quickens his pace as he walks by. The room is emptying out even faster now. You manage to get the attention of another woman. Could you... She doesn't even slow down before she leaves. After the third person gives you the cold shoulder, you start to wonder what happened. Are you really that out of place? Is it something about Armand? What's going on here? Still, you check around the Orphan's Feast one last time. There's no sign of Armand, not even an open tab with the tavern keep. After waiting around for a few hours, you leave the Orphan's Feast, dragging your small mountain of luggage behind you. After all, the coach was only hired to take you to the tavern. Armand may not have been waiting for you like he said he would, but you memorized his address from all of the times you wrote it on your letters to him. It's the middle of the night, but the street is still teeming with life. The light from the windows and the street lamps sparkle like stars. You're tired and your feet hurt, but still, you can't help but smile. This is it. This is Paris. No matter what happens, you're still here. For a brief moment, you're not a country girl dragging luggage through the streets. You're the person you feel that you are when you close your eyes, alone. You're overseeing a grand salon surrounded by poets, musicians, scientists, philosophers, and artists. You are elegant, sophisticated, and respected. You're getting close to the address. Armand never described his living conditions much, but he's the son of a baron, and his family was always well-to-do, especially compared to yours. You spent a lot of time in that carriage wondering about the home you're to spend your new life in. Still, you didn't expect this. Calling the house rustic would imply that you were out in the country, not in the center of a city. The neighborhood is nice enough, but you're worried that if you breathe too hard in the building, it'll fall over. A well-kept woman in the attire of a maid opens the door and approaches you. Ah, bonsoir. I assume you must be Madame Yvette. My name is Camille. Monsieur Armand told me to expect you. Oh no! I rolled a 4. So is this where he lives? Oh God, the rats in there ate them, didn't he? Impossible, madam. I've taken care of all the rats myself, Camille replies, emphasizing her point with a playful stump of her foot. Eyeing her worn shoes, you have a feeling the rats didn't go quietly. Fine. When I'm done, Armand is simply going to wish the rats had eaten him. At this, Camille takes a deep, nervous breath. I'm afraid to tell you that you'll have to wait, madame. It's been days since I've seen Monsieur Armand. I was hoping that he was with you. While you're still processing this latest disappointment, Camille seems to notice your mountain of luggage for the first time. Mon Dieu, madame, did you carry all of this yourself? You must be exhausted. She's not wrong. You're not certain how you're still upright and awake right now. I've already made up your bed, madame. Please go inside and let me take care of this. You take your diary and leave the heavy lifting to Camille. The inside of the house isn't much better than the outside. Camille keeps the place tidy, but she can only do so much. Still, you don't care about that right now. You're just happy to have a roof over your head. You flop down on a nearby couch, open your diary, and start to write. You're tired, disappointed, and perhaps abandoned, but writing things down always helps you make sense of a situation. I mean, we're a bit of a shrew. I know that. Okay, so we didn't lose any novelty. We did lose some credibility. Early the next morning, Camille approaches you, occasionally wringing her apron with her hands. She's obviously nervous. Madame, there's something you should know. Taking a deep breath, she continues. You're expected to attend a party the day after tomorrow, held by one Baron Maxime de Terme. I mean, Armand replied to the invitation, but you were to his date. Splendid, a party. Camille looks visibly relieved. Parfait. If you need anything washed or prepared, just ask. That reminds me, Camille exclaims. If you're going to a party, you should probably make sure you're dressed appropriately. Fashion moves so quickly here that people retire outfits before they even wear out. At this proclamation, you can't help but notice that Camille's uniform has been repaired many, many times. Camille continues. Monsieur Armand was always going through clothes so quickly. He said that every outfit had a certain amount of novelty. Every time you wore them to a party, the novelty would go down a bit. In fact, even a little thing like wearing the same thing twice in a row could run the novelty out faster. Can you imagine? Fortunately, he knew the most delightful clothier on Rue de Faubourg Saint-Honoré. I am butchering that, and I'm sorry. She runs a shop called Le Petit Mogul. I'll draw you some directions. Immediately, she starts sketching some directions, mostly just simple renderings of local landmarks. It's now available to visit. If you head out today, you should be well prepared for the party tomorrow night. Okay, so you gain a level of exhaustion by attending a party. Any levels of exhaustion that you have at the start of the party or rendezvous will give you a penalty to your credibility. Okay. So the party is that day. Alright, well, let's explore Paris, because that's what we need to do. Petit machin. Okay. It's a long walk to Rue de Faubourg. Long walk to the store. But the trek to the narrow street is worth it. Every block hums with a vibrant energy, bursting with life. Porters and social climbers wind their way through the streets, festooned with brightly colored parcels. Paris may be a city swimming in fashion and finery, but this is the source. This street is home to all the major fashion houses in the country, and to Rose Burton, personal dressmaker to the Queen herself. And now you're here. Back home, they sigh and dream over places like this, then quietly get back to their little lives. Not you. Your circumstances may be less than ideal, but you're still here. Le Petit Mogul, you mumble to yourself idly, trying to make sure you remember the name of the shop. Eventually you find a small boutique tucked between some far grander buildings. You open the door and walk into the tiny shop, which seems even smaller due to how absolutely full it is. Sounds like my craft room. This isn't just a boutique, it's a workshop for whoever works here. Rolls of gorgeous fabric cover every surface. A cloying smoke hangs in the air. The scent is pleasant, but not wholly unfamiliar. Okay, we shocked somebody. As soon as the door swings shut behind you, you hear a rustling of fabric further in the store. A customer? Hamdullah! A surprising young voice calls out. Bonjour, madame, and welcome to Le Petit Mogul. A woman, presumably the owner, calls out to you. I do need a tutorial, please. I'm liking her so far. Think she's cool looking. At these words, she looks giddy to the point of bursting, but tries to play it off as a knowing smile. This deception is only half successful. Oh, I think I can help with that. Okay. So I need to... okay. Okay, so this, don't wear it to the church, but I can wear it around the crown to negative influence. So the bourgeois. Okay, I don't want to wear that, but I can wear that to church. I don't want to wear that. I think we're hanging out with, like, the fancy people, so I think the robe de cour. I don't have the money for the robe decor. Shoot! So it's gonna have to be one of those. Okay, so I mean, this one is at least only -3. Shoot. Okay. Yep. That's all I can afford. You awaken to the vision of sunlight flittering through the shutters, scattering sunbeams across this dusty bedroom. It takes a few minutes before you groggily remember the events that brought you here. You also remember that tonight you have a party to attend. Camille enters your bedroom, already full of cheer. Madame, would you like to start getting ready? If this is as important as the invitation makes it seem, I should start preparing now. That's good to hear. These preparations always seem to take all day. On days where you have a party, you won't really have time to spend exploring Paris. Once you go to your wardrobe, we can get started. Tutorial, please. Don't worry, madame. A glamorous woman like yourself is sure to catch on quickly. I like Camille. Okay, so wardrobe. Oh, for the party. So definitely not that, but this. Oh gosh, that'll take away my credibility. Oh, it's being held by the Revolution. They like robes à la Française. Oh, okay. Well, then that's not bad at all. Here I go. Okay. Whew. I should have checked that before. I don't think it told me to. When your carriage drops you off at the party, you find yourself waiting in line for quite some time. Looking at the other guests, you wonder how ready you are for this. While you're trying to determine whether you're underdressed or overdressed, you pause to consider how well rested you feel. Unfortunately, you can feel exhaustion set in as soon as you think of the full itinerary ahead of you. Tonight is going to be a long night. Boo. You look over yourself one last time and confirm you're wearing your robe à la Française to a party being held by the Revolution. The guests approve of your outfit and your credibility has increased. Okay. With preparations like these, tonight should largely be a positive affair. While you're determining your standing in the world of fashion, you manage to overhear an interesting rumor while in line. You make a mental note of it, just in case. Okay. Oh boy. Immediately upon entering the vestibule, you're greeted by a doorman holding a small ledger. While he isn't physically barring your entry, his manner certainly is. Name, madame? Baron Armand de Marbeau. The valet looks shocked. Baron de Marbeau? Why are you dressed? A moment later, he composes himself. Ah, I see. You're the Baron's date. My apologies. Is there anything I can get you? Please convey my deepest gratitude to our host, and that I'm eager to meet him.
Oh.
Yes, absolutely, madame. The Baron shall hear of it quite soon. You hear some murmurs from the other guests in the vestibule. Your gratitude and enthusiasm seem to have made an impression on them, though the doorman seems rather unfazed. Okay, credibility, yeah! Before you can ask any questions, he bows deeply to you. Pardon-moi, madame. Baron de Termes instructed me specifically to inform him as soon as you had arrived. We've heard so much about you. Enjoy the party, he says with a smile before leaving. Concerning? Okay. Okay, I have 2 turns to pick conversations. He hated me last time. No, that's not the same dude. Maybe, I don't know. Those 2 didn't seem to like me. What about the card roomy area? Let's go talk to this lady. A revolutionary host. This woman standing by herself seems quite fascinated by the host of the party, Baron Maximum de Termes. Okay. You approach a woman who's standing by herself. She's looking around at the party and just seems extremely pleased to be here. Isn't this magnificent? She beams. So many revolutionary minds in one place, all brought together by one man. How do you know our host, Baron Maxime de Termes? Maximin and I simply keep running into each other at various salons and readings. Really? Her voice dropping to a low whisper. I don't mean to be rude, but I've never seen you before, and I attend many of the salons. In fact, the only way this could be true is if we had attended all the events the other had missed for years, which would be convenient indeed, she replies cheerily. Since we've exclusively attended such different events, I have some helpful advice for you. Don't lie about your relationship to the host. Maximin has no time for ridiculous intrigues of courtiers. I'm sure he would certainly not appreciate this if he were to find out. Rude! Okay. Womp womp. Okay. The dice are not being kind to us. Our lady is just ruder than rude. Okay, now there's only one dude to talk to. Hey. Oh, this is the Baron who invited us. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice a tall, thin man dressed in somber, serious colors. The way people are clustered around him, you get the feeling that he's quite important. He glances up from his current conversation, politely excuses himself, and approaches you. Ah, you must be Madame Decaux. I'm not sure if Armand spoke of me, but I am Baron Maximin de Thermay. Right as he focuses his attention on you, you can feel everyone in the room watching you out of the corner of their eyes. His opinion must carry a great deal of weight. But please, let us dispense with titles. You can call me Maximin. The crowd chuckles, and you can't help but be surprised by this noble's informality. This would be downright scandalous in any other circle. The conversations in the various corners of the room die down as people strain to hear your exchange with Maximin. It's great to meet the woman Armand spoke so much of. He said more about you than he did the state of the nation, and you know how much he loves that. Maximin smiles and offers a knowing wink. Now that I've seen you, I can see why he had such muddled priorities. Okay. In fact, you may both find these useful. He grabs a jumbled stack of political pamphlets off his desk and hands them to you. Discourse moves so rapidly, after all, and I would hate for the two of you to have any trouble keeping up. A few voices in the crowd murmur in approval. Maximin pauses, his eyes sweeping the room for a moment. But please, I must trouble you with a question of my own. I've been told that Armand is unable to join us tonight. What has delayed him? Oh, thank God. I actually don't know, Maximin. I don't even know where he is. You've lost him? Maximin asks, a sudden note of confusion marring his features. And you came here? With a flood of realization, he laughs. Oh, but of course, you're just here at my salon to find your Armand. I thought you were here for our enlightened discourse, but no, this makes much more sense. Your loyalty to Armand is commendable, and exactly the sort of thing we're striving to bring to this troubled nation of ours. A small cheer goes up from from some of the crowd. Okay, we've got some credibility, okay. And, of course, it's a shame your loyalty is anchored to such mediocrity, but still. Oh, come on. If he's lost, then it means we no longer have to entertain his traitorous ideas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't know where he is either, then? I do not know where he has skulked off to, nor am I inclined to find him. The only reason I even invited him was to save myself the time of authoring a pamphlet denouncing him, Maximin snorts. He and his regressive ideas of alternative action. In a time of such turmoil in our country, only decisive action has any meaning. To believe otherwise is to be a coward and a slave to the enemies of the people. And you, I don't need to investigate you any further to know that you are cut from the same wretched cloth. The room is quiet enough to hear a pin drop. We lost our credibility. His voice drops low, to a growl barely above a whisper. Before you speak, I already know what you're thinking. That somehow you don't deserve this. You are wrong. Our associations reflect our character, and you've chosen to associate yourself with a dangerous boor who drags at the heel of true progress in France. I can only assume that you're a craven opportunist who thought that marrying into a title would provide an easy path above her peers, that your life would be easy if you just found the right person to latch onto. Like a barnacle or a leech. You are a fool for believing that, and he is a fool for loving you. I think we should shoot him in the face. Okay, titles don't elevate us above consequences. Now leave my house and never return. Before you can reply, a valet grabs you roughly by the arm and drags you from the study. People like your loathsome host don't need to do their own dirty work. They have servants for it. It takes far longer than you'd like to get outside, and the entryway is crowded with guests preparing to leave. You can feel their eyes weighing heavily on you. When you finally get to the door, you feel a brutish shove, and you stumble out onto the courtyard, barely keeping your balance in your heels. The area is equally crowded, with various persons entering their personal carriages. You can hear somebody snicker, but you have no idea who it was. The only thing left to do is go home. That's some big talk about titles from a man who can't even do his own dirty work. Boiling over with anger, you turn and rain insults upon the house. In fact, you consider throwing your shoe through one of the windows, but before you remember how much you like that shoe, it is then that you notice that several carriages have stopped just to watch your display. Scanning the faces of your new audience, you see the glaring, unamused faces of various party guests. You're certain that your hatred of Maximin, the revolution, and everything else he stands for is going to be well known throughout the city soon enough. Womp womp. Okay, so the revolution doesn't like me, but the crown does. I mean, I don't know if this is French Revolution. I don't know if we want to be liked by either, let's be honest. Okay, so we sneer, go to our carriage. However, you arrive at the place where your carriage is parked, and you quickly find out that it isn't. It's gone. You check to make sure you're in the right place, but to no avail. The carriage you hired is simply not there. He went home, a passing coachman says helpfully while adjusting the harness on a particularly grumpy horse. Dorman came out about an hour ago and told him you wanted the coach to leave without you. Seemed real important, so he went home. Before you can even respond, he gets his carriage moving, leaving you with yet another indignity. Going back to Maximin is obviously unacceptable, and it's too far to walk home, and most of the other guests have already left. However, there appear to be 3 carriages waiting to leave, each of them quite different. Perhaps one of them can help? 2, 3. The humble carriage to the left. The carriage to the left of you is of foreign design, features a gilded crest as its only ornamentation. This crest is emblazoned with a motto in Latin. It appears to belong to a priest of some description. The curtains are drawn, but someone appears to have lit a lantern inside. Judging by the occupant's silhouette, it looks like he's reading. He won't like my outfit. Yep, we're gonna go for it. He's not gonna like me. Settled in your decision, you set out, ready to entrust your fortune to a modest stranger. He ain't gonna like me at all. You reach out and knock on the door of the carriage. An accented voice calls out to you. Who is it? Father, my name is Yvette Decaux, and I'm a common woman in need. Oh my, a voice behind the door calls out. After some fumbling, he parts the curtains on the carriage windows. Hello, Madame Decaux. Do not worry. I'm sure there's something I can do for you. May I trouble you for a ride home? My coachman was tricked into leaving without me. For the first time today, you see someone look at you with genuine concern. How terrible. Please come aboard. It's no trouble at all. He puts down his book and waves you inside. I'm surprised. The inside of the carriage is very similar to the outside. It's simple but lovingly crafted. Father Sidoti sits across from you, his eyes darting between you and the small stack of books next to him. He signals the coachman by tapping on the ceiling of the carriage, and you head up towards Paris. He stares at you for a while and almost starts talking before thinking better of it. This process repeats a few more times before he finally speaks. May I ask what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking for my missing fiancé, but it turns out this party was held by one of his enemies. He raises his eyebrows. What a worrying turn of events. A missing fiancé, sudden enemies, and now a missing carriage. It sounds like you've been beset by quite the number of misfortunes. Yeah, it does. I'm guessing that you must be the one I've heard about. I'm sorry that our host felt it acceptable to treat you so poorly. Are you all right? I'm not happy with what happened, but I'll be all right. Resilience is good, he replies, trailing off for a moment. Just make sure to give yourself time to rest. Even the most minor of injuries can wear on the soul if left uncared for. Eventually the conversation dies down, the adrenaline rush of the night's disasters and indignities giving way to simple exhaustion. Father Sidoti settles into his books and you occupy yourself with watching the scenery go by and trying not to fall asleep. The carriage stops and the coachman opens the door. As you step down to the street, Father Sidoti leans out of the carriage to look at your home. Ah, I see you have chosen to live humbly. It's good for the soul, he muses aloud. You gain favor with him, okay. Until we meet again, madame, he calls cheerfully before the carriage drives off into the night. You realize that Camille is already waiting for you at the door. Who was that? A most intriguing young priest, hopefully someone I'll see again. Your mind is brimming with new possibilities. You step inside and head upstairs. Slowly you get undressed and open your journal to record exactly what transpired today. Okay. So our dress lost some novelty. So we did find out that a book salesman was recently arrested for printing profane criticism of the royal family. We lost credibility. We got some peril. Antone doesn't like us. 2 Elizabeth, she likes us, and 1 Levico. Okay. 23rd of March. We have to establish ourselves. You awaken the next morning in a bed that still feels unfamiliar. In the process of waking up, you start to recall last night's humiliations and wish that they were merely the product of your fitful dreams. Unable to go back to sleep, you spend some time tossing and turning in bed before finally sitting up. Nothing is going to make last night go away. The only option is deciding what to do next. You feel exhausted, not physically, but in your very soul. Like your fate in Paris has already been decided and that to remain here would be pointless. It would just be the humiliations of last night, over and over again. However, stronger than that exhaustion is the simmering rage you feel at the outrageousness of your circumstances, at the injustice of your treatment, and at the thought of going back to your tiny village after finally making it here to Paris. No, you must not go back. You cannot go back, not while a single candle of your ambition still burns. Camille pops into your room, already dressed and ready for the day. Bonjour, madame, she beams. It looks like you had quite an active night. Is there anything I can get you? Please find a spare pillow and smother me. I'm sorry, madam. The other cushions are waiting to be washed. We can't have you end your life with a dirty pillow. It would be improper for a woman of your station. While you wait, I must insist on getting you something to drink. Going out without wouldn't be healthy. I'll have some wine. Numbing the memory of last night will make me less anxious. A few minutes later, Camille returns with a decanter of red wine and the least chipped wine glass in the house. Pourvoir, madame. Pourvoir? Pourvu? Pourvu. I don't know. She pronounces before serving you. You drink the wine slowly, taking in the aroma between sips. Armand was always the sort to keep a few particularly nice bottles on hand to impress important guests. The wine smooths the edges off of last night's memories, and you feel a little more ready to face the dangers of this new world you've entered. You've lost a little peril. Nice! You take a few moments to finish your drink in silence and collect your thoughts. Something that keeps coming to mind is all the gossip you heard during your time at the party. Most of it was idle prattle, but some of it felt scandalous and valuable. Without an inheritance or a job, you need a way to make some money. Maybe somebody would be willing to buy this gossip. Is that a thing people do? Camille taps her chin thoughtfully. Well, when I was at Les Halles the other day, someone mentioned something about a newspaper with these amazing society pages. I think it was called Le Trompette du Pipel. I don't know. They'd have to get their stories from somewhere. Why not you? In fact, I bet you'd be great at that, madame. Merci, Camille. I think I'll do just that. With that, your day begins. Okay. So we're going to... I guess we'll just wear our provincial outfit for now. And we will visit the gossip monger. Because why not? You walk through the city following Camille's directions. Eventually you find yourself threading through narrower and narrower streets. The alleys, packed with refuse and the occasional vagrant napping in the shade, feel almost oppressive in their closeness. Suddenly, the alleys open up into a wider street near a square. You can hear the splashing of a fountain nearby. You finally find the sign for the Trompette du Pupil. The paint appears fresh, but the office seems awfully small. The door is locked, so you give it a knock. Nobody answers. Looking around, you find a hastily written note lodged in the doorframe. It reads, "Office temporarily closed. Engaging in emergency fundraising efforts. We apologize for the inconvenience. Management. Fear not the setback. The light of journalism shall never fade." It's at that moment you realize the splashing the fountain is getting louder, accompanied by some of the most inventive profanity you've ever heard. Against your better judgment, you decide to investigate. I'm losing my voice. "Aha!" a reedy voice shouts triumphantly. You come upon a man in grubby finery, up to his knees in the fountain. His shoes have carefully been placed at the water's edge. He does a little jig as he drops a wet coin into his snuff box, which is clutched tightly in his other hand. Noticing your presence, the man in the fountain turns to you with a nod and a smile that attempts to be ingratiating. "Bonjour, madame." Are you serious? This is your emergency fundraising?" The stranger's smile sours as he marches out of the fountain. "I shall have you know that fundraising is far more difficult than it appears. Even the most noble of men must occasionally stoop low to accomplish greater things." "If I wanted to sell some gossip, how would that work?" A devious smile crosses his face. "New to this, aren't you? Don't worry, it's much easier than you think." Okay, so I've got cheap revolution gossip. So it's super fresh. So if you peddle influence, I will take the gossip for free, but you can use that effect to change the standing in a faction. Yeah, we need money, so we need to sell it. Okay, so that's all the gossip that we have. But hey, that's money that we needed. You wake up the next morning to a polite knock on your bedroom's door frame. Camille enters, carrying a small armload of letters. Madame? Camille starts, both confused and hesitant. "There's a lot of letters for you here." "Take a letter." The letter, written in elaborate calligraphy and sealed in stamped wax, appears to be an invitation to a party. The other letters, cradled in Camille's arms, are a similar type. "Why would anyone invite me to a party?" "Well, madame, you're a little famous right now. Everyone's heard about your run-in with that dreadful party host a few days ago, how they preyed upon your honor and spirited away your carriage driver, leaving you trapped and alone. You don't think that's exactly how it happened, but decide against fretting over the details." Camille starts to talk faster and faster. "Then, when all was lost, you were saved by a beautiful stranger who escorted you home in the moonlit night. It's so romantic, non? Oh, the rumors are already running rampant. Why, just in the market the other day, I heard someone say that you've taken a liking to..." Camille stops, stares into space, and blushes. "Actually, never mind that." "Yes, let us never mind that. Never mind it again." "Consider it unminded, madam. In any case, this is your chance to meet people in the city who don't hate you, or Monsieur Armand." "Okay. In fact, I'm sure that anyone who really judges you fairly is going to love you." Okay, so we're learning about parties. Camille will show you the new invitations you receive them, choose to accept or decline to decide which parties you'll attend, or choose close to skip and choose later. Parties take up your whole day, but you can find gossip and advance certain stories there. Okay. So I will get some credibility and I will get church gossip. The attendance, a wine tasting. This intimate party is sure to be the very height of merriment. Okay, well, I don't think the bourgeois like me very much, but I'll accept. I have to pick one here, which I think I'm going to go with the royal one just because they like me better. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. Okay, and then this one is military. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. I do need like a churchy outfit, I think, for this. Yeah, I think I need to go to town and get a churchy outfit, and then I think I need a rest. Interesting. Okay, so we need something that's like choichi. I already have that, don't I? Oh, the crown won't like that though. Church won't like that one. Ooh, the revolution likes this one. Do I not have... this one's kind of church. I have one of those though. I don't even have that money. That's the one I bought. This is at least 0 church, but 15 military. And this one's revolution, which we're not trying to impress. Let's buy that one. And then how do I rate... oh, I don't get rest. No rest for the wicked. The next morning you wake up from a long night's rest feeling pretty much the same as you did last night. Now that you think about it, you've been feeling tired since that terrible party nights ago. Camille enters the room carrying some breakfast. Bonjour, madame. You look unwell? Nicely spotted, Camille. I also feel unwell. Well, don't worry. This sort of thing used to happen to Monsieur all the time. He would attend these parties and then forget sometimes he needed to rest. Armand was always the sort of person who'd burn the candle at both ends. In fact, you were both often guilty of this, which is one of the reasons you two got along so well together. The more parties he attended, the more exhausted he was, which made things harder and harder for him. Okay, so she can... basically, we can rest. Might do just that, yeah. Because we're tired. So, explore Paris, and then I'm gonna pick home. Because we got 2 exhaustion, and that's... yeah. Yay! We're not exhausted anymore. Okay, so today is the churchy thingy? It's the choir recital, yeah. No. Go to the party. Wait. Choir, churchy. What is my best churchy vibe? How come that one isn't churchy? Okay, well, we'll do this one. It's at least 3. As your carriage nears the party, you consider taking one last moment to assess your preparations. Assess. You pause to consider how well rested you feel. Okay. Credibility is up. Okay. So you step down out of your carriage and hear the ripple of whispers that signal your arrival to any social event these days. There's a small line in the entryway of the cathedral, as guests are waiting to get in. While you're standing in this line, you manage to overhear an interesting rumor. You make mental note of it, just in case. A servant checks your invitation, and everything seems to be in order. Nod to her and enter the party.
Huh.
She curtsies to you as you pass her by and enter the party. Now the games begin. Okay. She looks cool. Okay. So gossip over there. I could... Shocking church gossip. But Lavico might be angry with us. Or there's some shocking church gossip over there. This is just some cheap church. I think this one. There's less peril and it's shocking gossip. You find yourself chatting with an interesting pair. Neither of them are members of the clergy. In fact, few people at this party are. If you had to guess, most of the guests here are either major contributors, ardent defenders of the faith, or people with relatives in the clergy. The conversations here are more subdued than some of the other parties you've been to, but no less interesting. In fact, you've already managed to hear some very interesting things. Ah, by the way, have you heard anything else about, the man says, waggling his eyebrows significantly at his friend? Oh, she perks up and leans in to whisper to her friend. There have been some developments. Of course, you still manage to hear the two talking. Also, excluding others from a conversation like this is rude. But I'd rather discuss it later, she continues, shooting you a quick, nervous glance. So this is credibility toned. This increases my peril. We're gonna try it. Please, don't worry. I already know. You what? Her voice tightening? As you study them, they both fail to meet your gaze. Oh, do you now? Honestly, do you really take me for such a fool to think that I'd fall for that? Well, yes. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done it. Womp womp. Okay, they ditch me. Okay, we got interesting people over here. Okay. Is this... A jilted gentleman? Yes, please. Between clusters at this party, you notice an older, distinguished man. He is standing by himself, but swaying quite a bit, which is good. After all, a drunkard and their secrets are easily parted. You immediately head over. Ah, bonjour, Madame Ducal. I'm glad to be in your infamous presence. In fact, it is most fitting that you are here with me. After all, you and I are not so different. We are both innocent people who have been spurned for reasons that we do not control, he slurs between sips of his wine. Lowering his voice to a stage whisper, he confides in you. Also, between you and I've always thought that Maximin was a self-important opportunist. Damn it all, where was I? Oh yes, my family has always been a loyal and Catholic one. In fact, my great-grandfather fought beside His Eminence, Cardinal Richelieu? Okay, I recognize that name for the Musketeers, but I can't say it. At La Rochelle. When my wife fell terribly ill last year, I donated much of our fortune so the priest might pray for her health. Yet, despite my generosity and their prayers, she died all the same. It was some consolation to find out that our community's donations would be used to fund the construction of a new chapel a few blocks from here. Then yesterday, I went up to that very chapel and found my wife's name to be absent from the list of dedications. I've lobbied the bishop repeatedly about this injustice, but he claims to be too busy at the moment and has no time. It is an outrage of the worst sort. Okay, if you wish to feel better, telling me about their failings might bring you comfort. I don't know if I have the credibility for that. I don't really want to be imperiled, but I did roll for this one, so... Their failings, you say? Something like rumors, you say? He asked aloud, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. That's a fantastic idea. In fact, I know just the thing. Cheap gossip, okay. Okay. So we did get the gossip we wanted, but we lost 7 credibility, which is not ideal. Okay, we don't have to do anything, so we probably should rest. But I'm going to go ahead and call it for today. This has been a very fun game to explore. I don't know if I'm going to keep playing this one on the channel. I just wanted to show you the game and let you see what it's all about. So thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a like. It really does help. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.